Welcome. The movie begins by showing an island. It was the such island in the world that had not been discovered. This means that no one knew about that island. The island was discovered thousands of years later by the Chinese oil refining company. That company's manager approaches this island with his thousands of workers, as they start drilling there in order to get oil. Then they witness the thousands years old and giant skeletons during drilling, and they belong to such animals which do not exist now. The company's manager informs his head about these things. It is revealed here that person had a keen interest in history. As a businessman, he thinks why this island may not be turned into a museum, where the people will visit to witness the historical objects, and he will earn a lot of money through this. He sends an archaeologist to search more things on this island. Archaeologists are those who study the human history or prehistory. According to archaeologists, they were detecting the presence of a giant thing under the ground. They were estimating as there is some living being under the ground, which is breathing. To check this thing as what is under the ground, they explode that area of earth. After the cracking of this place, a giant snake had appeared from there. It was the female snake which was hibernating under the ground for 1,000 years. It had awakened because of an explosion set by the archaeologist, so it was in full rage. This is the reason it falls away all the workers with its tail, and they all fall like toys. There the snake was destroying everything. Consequently, many workers had died. Now the survived workers had started to hear the sound of another animal. Its howling was loudest. Through this, all had assessed that this animal is more powerful than the previous one. Then a giant foot is shown in the movie, where it was stepping with its giant feet at that place, where the snake was present, and it was crushing the workers under its feet. It had been exposed here that these dinosaurs had not stepped here to victimize the humans here. They were rather here to confront with the snakes. Because a war was going on between dinosaurs and the snake thousands years ago, the estimation of the whole scenario had been cleared as the present skeletons on this island. Either they belonged to snakes or dinosaurs. It had been known that this snake was last survivor of its breed after the thousands years of war. On the other side, these dinosaurs were only 2 or 3. Finally, these dinosaurs and the snake wanted to end their war after the 100 years of hibernation. The scene drops here, and the head of that oil refining company is shown in China, where he was telling about the discovery of the new island. He tells all, they have discovered some antique things from here, so they are converting that island into a park. Then a child is seen in the movie about whom it had been known that child still feels scared because of the accident happened in his life, and his leg is also fractured as the result of that accident. His mother, named Xiao Nan, hands him over the 2 park tickets of that island. In the next scene, many visitors had been seen going to that island. There were also the head of the oil company along with those visitors in the same company. Then a crow is hit with the bus window near the Kai's seat. It was so giant. All visitors were scared with Kai, witnessing that crow. Whereas that crow had ended because of striking with the bus window. Peeping through the bus window, Kai was also observing that snake creeping on the mountain. It was biggest that Kai did not understand as what is this. Meanwhile, the bus driver was observing the falling 2 big stones coming to them from the air. So the driver takes a turn to the opposite side to be secured from them. Consequently, their bus had turned towards the woods. Their bus had stopped because of hitting with a tree as being uncontrolled. Afterwards, all visitors had come out of that bus. Now, Kai, a man and that child walk to a lake. And that child begins to watch the other things while talking, while a mysterious frog-like monster on the other side. It eats that man while capturing him with its tongue. As Kai turns, feeling a threat, then that frog-like monster was going to victimize Kai. But Kai was quick-witted, so he jumps into the water while escaping. Because of this, the monster could not hunt him. On the contrary, that archaeologist was being observed, who had accompanied with these visitors. They were old people and they were inspecting that stone now, which had come towards their bus from the air. They find some mucus on that stone. Checking this greenish mucus, they had known that it is the saliva of snake through which they had estimated this. There is an alive and a giant snake. That archaeologist says to all that we should leave this place as soon as possible. because he had known this island is very threatening. They were still consulting as such that previous frog-like giant monster attacks them in the meantime. All visitors had panicked, seeing that monster. Because that monster was engulfing all visitors one by one. They all hid in a bus, moving there. But that frog-like monster had still not let them go. It was attacking in the inner side of the bus while damaging the bus windows with its tongue. That giant snake had approached here before that monster engulfed the people in the bus. It had picked their bus up in the air while wrapping it with his tail. Meanwhile, it had been seen that a girl had lost her breath, falling from the bus. After this, it is seen that snake was peeping in the bus now, where all visitors could witness this giant snake. They were all shocked, seeing it because they had never witnessed such a giant snake before. Snake had started to hear the sounds of the dinosaurs as it was staring at those visitors. It immediately falls the bus down with its tail and flees. All visitors had injured because the bus had fallen from the height. On the other side, Kai was being seen who was still being chased by the frog monster. Kai had hidden in the hole of a tree to escape from it. While moving down, that tree falls at such a place with the touch of frog monster, where the lying eggs of that snake were. It had also known about that snake here. That snake has to pass 500 years long time period to lay the eggs. If it lays eggs at once, then it cares it more than its life. As Kai looks under his feet, he was observing a mysterious thing. Actually, it was shed skin of the snake, which is shed by any snake after being injured, because their skin is soon recovered. And their skin is regenerated after shedding their old skin, and they become more powerful with new skin. Now, Kai moves ahead where he was glimpsing the giant eggs. He had never witnessed such giant eggs throughout his life, so he was so shocked seeing those eggs. He was staring all lying things there with astonishment. That a giant dinosaur had appeared there all of a sudden. Seeing it, Kai was also so scared. And he hides himself behind those giant eggs to escape from it. But Dinosaur had still not glimpsed Kai here. Dinosaur breaks an egg of that snake there and eats all the material inside. In the meantime, Dinosaur also detects the presence of a human being. And it was the detection of Kai, and Dinosaur was moving ahead to eat him. All snake's eggs are broken there as it moves forward with its heavy body. Now, Kai had hidden in an egg shell while escaping from Dinosaur. At last, Dinosaur had also searched him again. It was going to swallow him, then the giant snake approaches there, which had eaten that biggest dinosaur after coming. But Kai had more scared, witnessing snake, because that snake was bigger than Dinosaur. Now he was crying in horror, because he was thinking that no one will come here to rescue him from this giant snake. The snake will rather eat him. But the snake had not taken such action here, but it was rather staring at its broken eggs. From one of the eggs, one baby snake had hatched, but that baby snake had survived for a while there. Giant snake had become lamented, seeing this, and it had started to weep bitterly. Taking the advantage of this situation, Kai runs away. Kai had reached the amid of forest while running, where he was discovering the bones of many animals. Observing them, he was feeling fear. Moving ahead, he encounters the giant plants, which were the carnivorous plants. Now those plants were going to trap Kai. Somehow, Kai is escaped from them. But he was not able to run away, rather he fell there. Now they were about to trap the carnivorous plant, Kai. Then Snake again appears to rescue him here. But one of the parts of those plants had pricked into Snake's body while rescuing Kai. Due to this, it was aching badly. Now it was trying to pull it out, coming before Kai, but it was not getting courage to pull it out. Seeing this, Kai brings a bile acid from one of the plants. He also brings the stem of a plant, and he binds it with the plant stick pricked into Snake. Kai was trying to pull that plant stick from the snake with the help of that stem. And the snake also moves its body with this. And that plant stick is pulled out from the body of the snake with a jerk. And Kai had also known this here as that snake is not harmful for him. It means that snake does not want to victimize him. Now the snake had also shaken a tree there while going. Some apples had fallen down from that tree which had been eaten by Kai. Now the group of those visitors is again seen here. The group comprised Kai's mother, archaeologist, his granddaughter, and a driver. They were searching for Kai, but it had also been revealed here that those visitors have halved into two groups, and one group has lost from there. One group which is struggling to search for exit with Kai, while other group was also searching for exit of this island. In this search, they had reached that place now. The place which was being shown at the beginning of the movie. Now they wanted to leave this island at any cost because their condition had turned worse. But they were not getting any exit point. Now they had started to hear the mysterious sounds from here. They had this knowledge as this sound belongs to an animal, and it had also been assessed by this howling. That animal is biggest of which howling is this. Now a biggest dinosaur had come there within a few seconds. Observing it, all had left astonished. Now the head of the company was asking a guide to make its video of dinosaur. Now he lifts his camera up as being panicked. But that dinosaur hits both of them with its tail while leaving. Due to this, they both fall down. On the opposite side, the other group was being observed, who was also finding Kai. They discovered a giant male snake's dead body in the woods. Archaeologists had estimated seeing this, it belongs to 500 years ago. Its dead body is still fresh because the scales of this snake are strongest. After all, Kai was again being witnessed. Unfortunately, he had again approached to the dinosaur, and the dinosaur was eating that frog-like monster there. Kai was going to scream loudly in fear. That Kai's mother pulls him quickly behind a big rock after placing her hand on his lips. But dinosaur had glimpsed everyone here. As that dinosaur opens its mouth to engulf them, then they all run away. But dinosaur had not stopped chasing them, but it was rather going after them to victimize them. Now, Kai had fallen down in this turmoil while others had stepped ahead. As Kai's mother knows this as her son has left behind, falling down. Then she returns back to rescue him. Meanwhile, dinosaur hits the rest of 3 people with its tail. As a result, they reach another place while falling down. Now dinosaur was after Kai, and his mother after diverting its attention. They both go into a cave hurriedly. As dinosaur puts its mouth in cave to eat them. Then its face is trapped there, but they still were not secure at this place. Because there were 2 dinosaurs before them as they had got rid from one dinosaur. Now 2 dinosaurs were moving towards their hunt Kai and his mother. Now they both had also lost all hopes here, thinking as they both will lose their lives here. Snake approaches here before those dinosaurs may hunt them, which throws those 2 dinosaurs away with its tail in a moment. Then a great war was being shown between the snake and the dinosaurs. They both dinosaurs signal the strange sounds loudly, through which other dinosaurs are also approached here. Snake was all alone here, but many dinosaurs were there to fight with it, which had caught the snake with their teeth, coming there. On the other side, it is seen that bus driver had taken away Kai and his mother after rescuing them. The scene moves to the snake again, which was fighting with many dinosaurs alone. Meanwhile, its body had also bruised badly. But it did not lose its courage, and it had ended all dinosaurs. At the end of this war, it was being witnessed that all dinosaurs had ended there, and the snake was so wounded there, but alive. Restoring its courage, it creeps to its cave again in some way. It was the same cave where Snake had laid his eggs before, where Kai had also approached there before, where Snake sheds its skin. In this way, the snakes not only get the new skin but also powers. In this duration of time, they become more strengthful, and the skin shedding process is being held with this snake. On the other side, Kai's group was being seen. There was also archaeologists among them. They had reached that place while leaving the woods hardly, where archaeologists had astonished, seeing the giant skeletons there. According to him, he had spent his whole life while searching on these objects, but he had never discovered as such till now. This archaeologist tells all here. There are 2 types of the species skeletons here. It meant a fight held between 2 species here. The skeletons of those wars victims were being seen here, and Kai, who was wandering here and there among all those things. He finds a camera lying on the ground. He was very afraid, watching its video. Actually, this camera belonged to that visitor who was asked to make the video by his owner. As Kai removes that camera from his eyes, Then the owner of that company was looking at him weirdly. Seeing him, Kai was frightened all of a sudden. Suddenly, that man captures Kai tightly. And he says to all, putting a knife on Kai's neck. No one can leave this island among all of you. You all will have to die here. In case anyone moves outside from here. Then the reality of this island will be exposed to everyone, and this island will be banned. While I have invested the $1 billion on this island, Dinosaur again appears here during their conversation. Witnessing them, they all run away. They all had gone away, but the owner of the company was in full rage. So he had stood determined before Dinosaur rather than leaving, but his boldness was in vain because Dinosaur had crushed him under his foot with a jerk. Now the remaining visitors had seated in a jeep here. Driver reverses his jeep as the dinosaur was going to attack them, so they are secured from this attack of the dinosaur. But Dinosaur was not ready to let them go at all. The dinosaur was moving towards them with same speed as they were driving their jeep speedily. Driver was driving the vehicle around the dinosaur. They were also keeping themselves in safe zone as such from the dinosaur. But Dinosaur was become so aggressive in return. Now it spins its tail forcefully. Consequently, a lying stone comes to their jeep after turning into many pieces, moving through air. The driver turns his vehicle on the opposite side to avoid this. But he had not witnessed this during this as the place where he has taken a turn. There is great rock before. Their vehicle had stopped there after crashing with this. In this way, they had stopped before Dinosaur coming there. But their luck was with them because Snake had come here. And that dinosaur had fallen away with the little attack of the snake's tail. As it was told before that the snake had got more strength after growing its skin again. Now it was also looking in so aggression. Now it was understanding. This snake and dinosaur were the last breed of their species. They were face to face now in order to end their species war started thousands years ago. They were equally powerful and they were fighting violently. But no one was going to accept its defeat. Dinosaur had thrown the snake on a rock, catching its tail in its teeth and lifting up. The snake was trying to get up again. At the same time, Kai's mother was being seen, who was fixing many explosives in the vehicle, because they also knew that dinosaur are eating them, while Snake is rescuing them. So she says to archaeologist that I drive this vehicle to the dinosaur. As I will jump out of the vehicle. Then you may explode the explosives set in this vehicle. Afterward, it was being seen that Kai's mother had also done the same. Archaeologist had the explosives remote but it was not working in his hand. Now that driver plays a trick here. He smears oil with a cloth, tying it with a stick. And he runs from there after igniting that cloth tied on stick, in order to throw that stick into the vehicle. Being badly wounded, he was also unable to move ahead except 2 or 4 steps. So archaeologist's granddaughter was running to the vehicle while holding that stick. But she had fallen down after striking with the coming stone from the air. Now, Kai had only left to accomplish this task. So he runs towards that place quickly. His leg braces were broken because of running fastly. So he had stumbled but he does not lose his heart, because he had carried this out soon. He restores his courage and stands up with his fractured leg, which was dressed. He runs to lift that stick without taking any support. The stick which was inflaming. Kai's mother got excited, observing Kai running without any support. At last, that vehicle had exploded with the help of Kai there. Due to this, dinosaur's attention had diverted towards them. Snake had got opportunity through this. It instantly attacks the neck of dinosaur. And it ends the dinosaur while catching and fracturing its neck with its mouth. Consequently, this thousands years old war had been won now by Snake. Kai's mother was getting satisfactions because of the recovery of Kai, while Snake was also looking happiest, glimpsing Kai. After this, Kai was being seen at his home as the scene moves from here, where he was watching the interview of archaeologist and his granddaughter. They were telling about that island and their adventure to all in the news channel. It was also being seen that Kai had kept the models of dinosaur and snake in his room. Showing this, the movie completes on this scene. Thanks.